I'm gonna apologize in advance for the sound because it is, as you can clearly see, pouring. And this is exactly the kind of rain that I wanted for that tent. But what you're hearing is she keeps her garbage container here and the water comes off and hits it. So that's why it carries on the way it does. It's getting this machine wet, which is dangerous, but that's none of my business. And it's getting my stuff wet, actually, so I'm moving it. That's what I mainly came out here to do, is to move my stuff out of the way. Because I don't need the problem of my stuff. Because all of this here is electrical. It all has to be plugged in. And even though it's just inside the box, I don't want anything bad happening to it. So I'm moving it over. And in fact, actually, I will move the machine too. Even though it'll dry, it's wetting a plug. And that's dangerous. I don't know when she plans on using it. It's basically a sucking vacuum to clean out the filter in her air conditioner unit outside. But yeah, so anyway, this is what I was waiting for, guys. You see how that ground is soaked? It's going to do the same thing under that tent. So this will be the real true proof, because there is already the plastic on the inside. And I have my shopping cart out there with stuff in it, but it's all inside plastic. I have, I'm doing it, like I said, for everything, for testing, to make sure, you know, that everything stays dry to a certain extent based on what I did to tweak the tent in the first place. So this way you guys can clearly see this is the real deal. This is, if there was wind, because there is some wind, but it's not really like heavy wind, of course. You can probably see like the leaves on her mango trees, but they're not really blowing hard. When the wind comes in from the left or the right, side to side like that, because it never really goes from front to back. But when it goes from side to side, that's usually when it wets the side of the walls on the tent and causes some problems for me, because that's where my head goes, my pillow goes. Usually my laptop, or tablet, I should say, because it's not usually, I don't take the whole laptop. I take it apart and just bring out the tablet part of it. But that usually has to lean on the side of, or the front of the tent in the corner in order to stay up, because it's not attached to the keyboard, so it can't just be opened up and sit there. So I usually have to lean it up against the side of the wall of the tent, and if all that kind of stuff gets wet, well then my tablet will be wet and probably messed up. My phones usually I lay up against the front where the door is on the inside. So we'll see how dry it is when this is all said and done. But I wanted you guys to see the rainfall, how hard it comes down, and that tent is sitting out there soaking it all in. And I can even see from here that the white part is really starting to get soaked, because I can see the blue tablecloth, plastic tablecloth that I put underneath before I put the white tarp underneath. So let's see what happens. Yesterday was the tent empty, and it really doesn't sit on the ground like 100% like pushed down when it's 100% empty. But once some weight is put on it, now it's on the ground. So whatever's on that ground gets soaked up. If it does get wet on the inside, I can easily just bring everything inside here, let it dry, and just not take it back out until it does, until the weather's going to be different. But this is what I was expecting yesterday. And Florida, in its unpredictable ways, of weather, but I think that's probably everywhere. But specifically because I'm out here dealing with it, the unpredictability is the problem. When I think it's not going to pour, it pours. When I think it's going to pour, it doesn't. So sometimes I used to get caught out in this, but now what I do, and it's not even a matter of looking outside like I used to in New York and say, oh yeah, it's gonna rain today because the clouds are out there like that. Or it's just gonna be a sunny day because the sun shines out. Here, it can look all kinds of cloudy like it's going to pour, and it doesn't. And it can look all kinds of sunny, and it pours. So it's really unpredictable all the way around. I've gotten caught out in it, I would say, a handful of times when I was going somewhere far back, when I was walking to the supermarket, which, like I stated in my old videos, takes me 45 minutes to walk, or used to anyway. Now it'll take me anywhere between an hour to an hour and 15 minutes to walk, and that's without the groceries. That's going, not coming back. But yeah, this is what's going on right now. So I'm gonna just sit out here and see how long it lasts. Just talk to you guys a little bit. So what happened yesterday was I found out that they didn't have to send me a questionnaire because they said I signed it already online, because I had to question them, ask them through email why I never got it even this week, and they said that it's because I already signed it online. So I asked them, can they stop sending emails saying that I need to fill it out and send it back then, because that doesn't make sense. So that's dealt with. I just did a video this morning as I was putting the stuff inside the tent. I did a video so that I can take it to their public assistance office that's near the supermarket. So when I go to the supermarket, either tomorrow, not really tomorrow because tomorrow's Saturday, so I'll probably go on Monday again, but tomorrow I gotta do groceries, definitely. But anyway, their public assistance office is right there next to the supermarket, within walking distance, like 5 minutes over. So I'm gonna go there and bring in the video I did, and another video that I'm going to do tonight if I'm going to be able to be inside of the tent. So this is the two videos that the one I already did and the one I'm about to do. I'm not going to be putting that on my Facebook page because it's not, I'm not Facebook, my YouTube channel, because it's not for that. Outside of that, I did a Facebook page a while back that was going to be connected to my YouTube channel, and I started running through it, just adding, not adding people, but just going on it and requesting friendships. And the next thing I know, I was bombarded by all of these people. Of course, they're from other countries trying to scam. And it was so funny because they were popping up so much, I couldn't even keep up. All this, I love you, and are you married, and I want to be with you, and all this other kind of thing, and where are you from, and what's your whole name, your full name. I'm like, are you serious right now? We're in 2022. I mean, if people are still falling for that kind of stuff, I guess there's not really much you can say. You got some people out there who are really, like, they've been through it, and they're really lonely and desperate, and feel like they have to have somebody in their life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then you have those who are, like myself, very much a loner, very much an empath, very much a what do they call it? A hermit. I'm definitely a hermit, and they call it something else. I can't think of it right now, but when it pops into my head, I'll say it. But yeah, I'm very much into being about introvert. I'm definitely an introvert. So when it comes down to it, men can't just be on some, when I was younger, I fell for that. When I was much more on the injured side, and didn't know anything about love and didn't know how to choose somebody that was worth my time and worth who I am, that I would just end up with any old body and keep repeating the same problem over and over. But when you get to be around my age, coming up, you know, like I said, I'm gonna be 49 October 9th, and I'm a year away from being 50. Now, I'm not saying that people that are in their 50s and above don't fall for the nonsense, because plenty of them do. But you just can't do that, not in this day and age, when they got video chat, they got Skype, they got, you know, ways for you to see another person, and they got, like, we already all know about scams and all this. So when people fall for it, I think they want to fall for it. You know, you believe that some fine-looking dude wants you. He's like in his early 20s and flies all to be damned and look like a supermodel, and you over here wrinkled and raggedy and all that and used up, talking about, yeah, this dude wants you. Yeah, right. No, this dude wants your money. This dude want a green card. This dude want to be up in the country, married to you, and then turn around and cheat you like crap and end up y'all divorced. I'm not saying it happens with every single one of them, but the majority of them, when they doing that kind of stuff from Nigeria and all these other exotic places, like, nah, they're not in it for, I want to just get to know you, because they don't take their time to get to know you. Everything is hurry up, rush, 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 because there's a hidden agenda. And when people are doing something like that, I'm like, I don't know how anybody falls for it. How they send money, put up their house mortgages, and all, you know, take out second mortgages and all kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, how do you do that? Like, I don't get it. I really, truly don't understand that. But, hey, to each his own. I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. But anyway, that's like, I got like 100 and some change people hitting me up. Some of the people that I had asked for a friend request, I can clearly see they're here, from here. You know, like, not from Florida, but specifically from the United States. But other people, their names and some of the writing, you can see that they're from, like, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, this kind of places. You know, it's Indian writing. India, they're from there too. Some probably from Malaysia and all these kind of different places. Asians and all these things. And it's just so funny to me, because I'm like, yeah, you don't know me from a can of paint, never spoke to me, never seen me, never nothing. You just looking at my Facebook page, didn't even bother to read my bio, because my bio states exactly what the page is about. It is to draw traffic towards my YouTube channel, and it's about mental health. And they totally just bypassed all of that to sit up and try to flirt or whatever they call themselves doing. But I accepted everybody's request and confirmed all the other ones that I had gotten. And I said, okay, yeah, you know, people that were legit and not legit, because once they were on there, I just bounced. Because I don't really care who goes on that page. There could be 1 billion people on that page. Out of that 1 billion people, 100,000, however much, I might get some people out of that go to my channel and take a look and actually start spreading the word about what I'm doing. Because I do find that what I'm doing is a little bit abnormal for, quote unquote, our normal society, that believe that when you're going through a situation and you have mental health issues and you're living with a narcissist and somebody else also on top of that with mental health issues, your whole family's like, you know, got mental health issues, including your own children. It's like, I don't know any African American, that's what I'm calling myself, just based on, you know, what people are going to see when they see me or hear me. But yeah, I don't know any African American women almost 50 years old sleeping in the backyard of their mom's house in a tent, because of not that I always do it, but I do it, you know. So, but the fact that I even do it, I don't know anybody who does. So I think that's interesting enough to draw the attention of some people to find out what this is about. And like I said, if it helps anybody, that's good. But I'm really on some selfish, you know, thing right now. I'm being selfless too, but I'm being more selfish now, basically, because I'm mostly trying to help myself through this. Because anybody else that's going through it, I don't think they ever ask questions, or I don't even think that they might even have to go through it. Most of the time there's agencies and all that other thing, but you have to be able to prove a person's a narcissist. And because this word constantly gets thrown around all over the place, like, somebody cuts you off, oh, you narcissist? And I mean, just anything, like you're driving down the street, somebody cuts you off, they're a narcissist. You're in the supermarket trying to make a purchase and somebody steps in front of you in the line, they're a narcissist. Like, you're in a relationship and your boyfriend's, cheated on you with your cousin or something and he's a narcissist. And it's like, nah, that's not the definition of narcissism. Like, there is so much more to it. And the fact that I studied it even before I came here, being that I just typed in what my youngest son's father was doing into Google. Seriously. I said that I said, what is a person's mental mental status if they're the type to punish you for doing good things and then treat you like really, really good when you're doing bad things. And I was mostly talking about my son because I was thinking that he was grooming my son. I know that sexual predators, people who molest their children, usually like never get on them for anything that they're doing bad. They're always like rewarding them and things like that because they need them to stay quiet about what they're doing to them. And so, you can hear it dying down now. And so I thought he was grooming my son, so I wanted to be absolutely sure about what I was seeing happening, so I typed it into Google. Then I started, as I was mentioning those things, and then like taking credit for things that I was doing with my son, like going to the PTA meeting and saying, when the teachers are like, oh, your son is doing so much better, and, keep up the good work, Mr. So-and-so. And I'm like, wait, nah, hold up. He wasn't doing nothing. And it wasn't that I was trying to take the shine. It was that he told them he was a single parent. And I'm like, how are you a single parent? And I'm in the house and I'm the one who got ACS off our son's case so that he can, get his stuff together and go to school and start paying attention and cleaning himself and all this kind of thing. And I'm over there struggling to get him straightened out. And I get him straightened out and you're at the school telling them you're there doing that by yourself. And I'm like, what? You're not doing it at all. You didn't do it for almost all his life. So what are you talking about? And so it just shocked me. And I just said, what are you talking about? You're not a single parent. I'm there. And, I've been there for the last year. And the teacher turned to me and said, well, you keep up the good work because he's changed over a new leaf, talking about my son. And when we got out of that school, it was like, oh, you about to pay for that. Like you embarrassed me or whatever, or I don't even know what the heck he thought. But I'm like, why are you taking credit for somebody else's hard work? Especially when you're constantly going, behind me and something that I'm doing to get him straightened out, you're sabotaging right behind it. I'm getting him to eat healthy and you're giving him money to get junk food. And I'm making him take his showers and clean himself up and all this, and you're going in there and cleaning his room for him, and so I just thought that that's what he was doing, was grooming him, because my son failed the 9th grade 3 times in a row. And this is my youngest one I'm talking about. That's with his dad. He failed the 9th grade 3 times in a row, and he has a 52-inch screen TV attached to his wall with the little slidey thing so that he can move it back and forth. I don't know what you call that. I guess it's the mechanical arm. He has that in his room. He had his computer, of course, and he had a BMX bike, brand new. He was always kept up with the latest iPhones. And I'm thinking, why is he getting all these things? This man was literally carrying our son at the age of 15 out of his bed from the kitchen from his bedroom to the kitchen to eat his breakfast in the morning before going to school. And he was 15 years old. And when I say carry him, I mean cradle. So instead of waking him up and saying, hey, go in the kitchen and eat your breakfast, he literally carried him there like a baby. And there was just things that I was seeing that I was like, okay, this is really not cool. But like I said, the more I confronted him about it, is the worse it got for me. And that's when I looked up what I was looking up, and that's when it said narcissism. And I just started reading all about it. Like, I just couldn't get enough, because I started realizing, oh my God, that's what my dad was doing. And then I was like, that was an ex-boyfriend and this person and that person, my ex, my estranged husband and my ex-fiance. And I just started realizing, like, these people were all narcissists, but being that my father was, I picked up on all of the traits that he had and just took it to, you know, my future, basically. Like, yeah, this is the kind of guy I should be with. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up with a bunch of narcissists. And then when I got here and started seeing that my mother being a Gemini, they always tell you that Geminis are two-faced. Well, trust me, that's exactly what I was getting. But it was because she's was so much like my youngest son's father, and I just left that situation before I came here, was what made me like, oh no, like I went from the frying pan into the fire. She's just like him. And when I say just like him, I'm just give one example. My mother takes everything that if you put a stain on something, one of her pots, pans, or anything like this, nothing, it doesn't matter. If you do something that she doesn't want you to do, she hides whatever it is you just did. She takes it up and puts it in her room and hides it from you. My youngest son's father, before I left, took the entire refrigerator and put it in his room so I couldn't use it. So, you see what I'm saying? It's just like something like that. That's really drastic and over the top and not necessary. You know, if you go and let's say you're using the toilet tissue because you don't have money to get any toilet tissue, you grab a roll from her thing before you can even put a roll back for her. She takes the whole entire the whole entire bundle of it and throws it in her room in her closet. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, okay, I only needed to use one roll, and I was about to put it back, but before I could even do that, it's like, oh no, you used a roll of my toilet tissue, I gotta hide it. Like, hiding garbage bags in her room. I mean, everything gets hidden in her room that she doesn't want you to touch. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I can't live like that. That's real childish stuff. It's like a kid. And so, and it's not just me she does it to. She does it to everybody. So that's why I was like, yeah, you're burning mad bridges when you do stuff like that, because people don't understand that. They're like, what are you doing? It's real simple to be like, look, I only got this much, so don't use it. But like I said, she can afford a whole lot more than that. But it's just a way also to control who gets what. You have to knock on the door, may I have? You understand? Like, you're not finna put me through all of that. That's ridiculous. We were doing that when we were kids. We shouldn't be having to do that. This is supposed to be home that you come back to when you come visit your parents. You know, you're supposed to be coming home. We don't come home, we come to her house. So that's the difference. And so, yeah. So it's stuff like that, you know. And so there's a reason for me doing the kinds of things that I do or say the kinds of things that I say. It's not just a matter of like, oh, yeah, you know, you're a narcissist. Like, it's not like that. It's that I'm studying this. I'm reading about it. I'm listening to Dr. Romney. I'm listening to actual true narcissists, Lee Hammock and Ben. I can't remember Ben's last name, but he does a thing, Raw Motivations. I watch these people and I study what they're talking about, and I'm like, yep, that happened. Yep, that's what they're doing. Yep, the triangulation between me and my siblings. Yep, I'm the dump on kid because I was the youngest. My brother was the golden kid. Like, yeah, my sister was the scapegoat. Like, everybody had a role to play, and it makes sense. It makes sense. And so that's when I was like, yeah, I'm dealing with another narcissist. So she may not be as bad. She may not be a covert like my father and like my youngest son's father, but she's definitely what they would consider. I don't know. I still have to study, so I'm not even going to classify it yet because I'm still studying it, being that, like I said, she's kind of back and forth and wishy-washy, so I don't know what to call hers. She's not the abusive type, but then I don't know, when nobody's around, it's a lot different. But the way she was treating my kids only, and like I said, I'm the one who has 6. All my other siblings have 2 apiece, but I'm the only one with 6. And out of all of her 12 grandkids, mine are the only one who never asked her for anything, and that she like really treated like shiznit. Even when meeting them for the first time, she treated them like crap. But not the others. So that's why I'm like, I nipped it in the bud then, and that's when I start getting real rowdy. When it comes to my babies, I get rowdy. So, yeah, that's what basically happened, and I'm just, like I said, I'm still observing, and I'm still going through things, but I don't know who, I've never seen it or heard about it, people escaping their parents and sleeping in tents and all this because they have mental illness, and the people or the person they're living with is being more mentally abusive than anything. And it's not something I can handle without, like I said, medications and without a therapist to talk to, no support. So that's why honestly I do this, is a support for me. You know, if I can get feedback from people, if I can get someone to understand, if I can get even doctor pass through and notice it, you know, and say, oh, wow, you know, I've never heard of this, and even want to reach out. Like, I don't care who it is, but I just need to know, like, what to do in situations like this, because I really have to tame myself and control myself in certain various situations. And sometimes I just blast off, like I can't hold it in anymore, because once again, like I said, I have a heart condition. It really wreaks bad on my heart. Like the stress from not saying anything at all and just taking stuff really messes with my heart. And that's how I ended up with this situation in the first place with my heart, is dealing with both my my husband, my estranged husband, my youngest son's father, and her. So, like, nah, I have a grandbaby on the way. I have 2 others that I've never met. Like, I'm not willing to never be able to see them based on what others are doing to me. And when people are like, oh, just stay calm. Look, it doesn't work like that when you have mental illness. It doesn't just work like that. I have schizoaffective disorder. I have bipolar depression. I have PTSD, anxiety, panic attacks. Like, it just does not work like that. You can't just be like, oh, yeah, okay, go ahead, do what you want to me. I'm cool. You know, they're like, no, So my thing is to lash out, and that's what I do. I lash the hell out. And sometimes it's over the top, and other times it's just enough. It's enough to make her change for 5 minutes, and that's good enough for me for the time being. All right, let's see what's happened. Oh, wow, we got a lot of soaking through this time around. Look at that. You can hear the sogginess on the ground. Let's see. Got my bags back here. Yep. I want them back here because everything else that I need to be protected is protected, so that's good. It'll help prove and bolster my case, because that's what I'm trying to do. Let's take a look inside, see what we got going. Keep y'all's fingers crossed for me. Let's see here. Here's the test. If we got a dry inside, then I'll be in here tonight. We got a dry inside, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, no, we don't. Look at that. You see the water? Nope, it went through. Yep. But it's protected still. It's protected by the plastic. So, technically, it is dry where it needs to be. So yeah, I can be in here tonight, even with that down there. I'm still gonna take and put some Clorox bags down, right, so that it doesn't stink or anything like that. And I'm also gonna spray it with Lysol. But there we go, guys. It worked out. Walls are dry. Yep, we're good. It's a go tonight and tomorrow. That got a little wet. I could feel that because it probably was sitting on a part that wasn't covered. Those are other pillows, but that one got a little wet. But yeah, we're doing good here. We're doing real good. I like that. All right. Well, that was a great test right there. Woo! Almost bust my butt coming out of there, because I know people can see my crotch and all that. These pants, these shorts, these pajama shorts ain't no good for me bending over the way I was just doing. All right, let me close this up. So the test worked. The test worked. Very good. Very good. I'm very pleased. Alright. I'm going to end this video here because, like I said, I was just doing all of this just to see what happens. Okay. Yeah, but it did go inside. And it's so funny because it went inside on the part that's in the front where the door is, where it normally doesn't, because the tarp is usually down over that part. So yeah, it got the front part, as you guys seen, soaked through. But I know what to do. I can drive that up easily. I won't have to remove the whole tent and bring it in. That's the main part. So, all right, I'm gonna end this here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you have anything you want to say. And sorry for the loudness, but I really had to come out during this time to catch it. And I will see you guys really, really soon. If not tonight, tomorrow Or I mean, not tomorrow, but Monday. No, wow, jeez. Don't worry about me. I'm tongue-tied. If not tonight, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Probably night. Okay? All right. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Bye.